inclusion for women, why isn't it working? Or if it is working, please tell us how it's working.
All right. So
and short. Yeah, thanks.
Okay. Regarding your question about the women inclusion in the financial sector, I mean, again, so there are a lot of things which trickle down from the societal issues as well. I mean, there are some inherent issues working in Pakistani, culture, where women are, given a secondary treatment when it comes to their financial inclusion, education, and other areas. However, the key responsibility for a player like us is to enable the services which are easily available, where they don't have to be, do an like an effort for achieving those goals. I mean, just to give you an example, I mean, savings is something which in a Pakistani society women are very attuned to, and the basic concept they have is either through committees or their closed user groups where they can fund and save money over there. We launched a similar product. I mean it's not committee, but yeah, it's a genuine conventional savings account. But over there, the key concept was to make it one click, to make it paperless, and to make it, simple enough for anybody to, achieve their objective. The idea is not to, go about and find women-oriented services. It's the idea. I mean, the services are there. The idea is to make them inclusive enough, to make them easy enough for them to, explore them without the need for a male. For them to take it there. So that is the key idea, and I believe I mean we are moving towards there. It's slow pace. I agree. We should have done better job on that, but that is how we see women inclusion, that to make it as easy for them as possible, and give them the opportunity to experience the same kind of exposure on those services.
Right. Thanks so much. Sir, very quickly, we're almost here, please.
I just want to add that overall, microfinance banks have actually contributed in improving to access to finance for women. You will find many women in communities who are doing very small businesses like Ghar Ka Khana, they're supplying it to offices, and in the process, they've become entrepreneurs in their own right. There are small garments businesses that women have scaled up. There are all kinds of business. We have about 21% women who are borrowing customers, who borrow small amounts of money and do wonderful businesses. I mean, and then they are helping their families, but children, getting quality education and everything. I'm sure it's the same story with UBank and other microfinance banks. We have this focus on empowering and helping women to actually grow their businesses and become economically independent.
Okay, thank you very much. So as we wrap up this panel and we start the ceremony for the tokens, I just want to leave you with a couple of thoughts. I'll take a minute or a minute and a half. So what I wanted to tell you was that since I have been working with companies to help them raise capital, and this work has taken me to okay, this is not working. Okay, never mind. So, oh no, here we go. Right. So when I'm helping companies, and I've helped close to 300 companies over the last 7 years raise capital, the C-suite would come and say, hey, we want to raise capital on the London Stock Exchange or the European Stock Exchange. Help us do our equity story, our business pitch. So I've helped with a lot of companies do that. And typically what I tell them is, whenever you're giving this kind of talk, you have to think about this principle called KFD. What do you want your audience to know? What do you want them to feel? And what do you want them to do? And in any kind of presentation, I would invite all of you to consider these three principles. At the end of the presentation, what did you want the audience to know from what you've told them? And more importantly, how did you want them to feel about it? And if there was a call to action or something to do, then what was that thing to do? And the second thing, if I can get to it, is that there should always be a monkey on your shoulder. Imagine a monkey on your shoulder who says, "Hey, Quindi, so what?" If you're telling people something, this monkey keeps asking you, "So what? What's the purpose? Why are you telling me this?" Because human beings are purpose-seeking creatures. We don't do things because of the what or the rational brain. We typically do things because of the why. And the why is where our limbic system is. The human mind is made with this limbic system, and the neocortex, which is the outside, has evolved relatively recently. So the limbic system is where the why is, and people typically tend to do things and the rational brain comes in later. So the reason I tell you this KFD and the limbic system is because I want you to impress upon you this very simple fact that as a nation, as a country, as Pakistanis, we need to think about growing the pie. Very often people in business and outside of business, all stakeholders think about, I want to own my grape. Think of a single grape. I want to own this grape and I want this grape to be mine. Instead of thinking about owning a slice of watermelon, right? A slice of watermelon is obviously much bigger than a single grape. But our mentality, unfortunately, at times is, I want my grape. Instead of thinking about growing for everybody, and everybody flips, whether that's through fintech or through productivity solutions or through empowering talent, we tend to think about our little kingdom, our fiefdom. And that becomes a real challenge. So the real challenge for all of us, or many of us, if not all of us, is here. It's in the mind. And the mindset needs to be a growth mindset, that if we grow together, even if my share becomes smaller, but the pie grows, I am better off. And I think if we all start thinking like that in our own spheres of influence, then we'll have a better country, inshallah, and a better region, and a better world. Thank you very much.